Caribbean Kitchen, Foods offers 7 unique blends of premium, low-sodium Jamaican seasoning that will add a burst of flavor to your dishes. Our authentic all-natural Jamaican seasonings are a game changer when it comes to adding a burst of flavor to your dishes. Our products are kosher, all-natural, contains ingredients that are gluten-free and GMO-free. Our seasonings are handcrafted with the highest quality ingredients. We source our ingredients from the Caribbean to capture the authentic taste of the islands. Unleash your creativity in the kitchen and savor the taste of the Caribbean with our spice blends. Enjoy our variety of seasonings that are flavor-packed to deliver the best taste for your dishes. Get ready to create delicious meals that will excite your taste buds and leave your guests asking for more. Try our exclusive curry and jerk seasonings for an extraordinary cooking experience. Our blends are an excellent choice for chicken, meat, fish, and vegan dishes. Add a burst of flavor to your cooking with our top quality Jamaican seasonings. Grab one of our bundles and enjoy the taste of the islands.
Come on. That's what you say when you're in church. You're trying to get folks hyped. Come on. Let's bless his name in the house of the Lord. Come on. Lift up your hands. In holy praise. Hallelujah. Let's praise and worship. All right. Y'all know I'm special. Don't judge me. Y'all don't talk about me. I just got to talking to Ruhama. And she laughing at me because y'all don't judge me. I made me some watermelon Kool-Aid. Don't do it. I don't drink Kool-Aid. But for some reason, I saw the watermelon and said, you know what? I'm might just try this. Just one time. I ain't had Kool-Aid since my child was in elementary school. Since my child was in elementary school. And she is 20-some years old now. So that tells you that it's been a long time since I've had Kool-Aid. Y'all come on and bring these people along in here. Come on in this house, good people. Come on, come on, come on. Come on, come on, come on. What's going on, good people? Come on, y'all. Come on in the house and let's have a good long conversation. Let's get these saints in here. I got 45 people. Let's get them in here, y'all. Let's get them in here. I'm in here on a Saturday afternoon. It shows that I ain't bored. I love talking to y'all. Who do we have in the house? We got 53 people. Come on in here, y'all. Me and my watermelon Kool-Aid. Oh gosh, I ain't had Kool-Aid. Wow. I made that. That's a little sweet. I don't think I'm finna drink that. Back in the day, I could get away with it, but now. Somebody said, how much sugar did I put in it? I niggerized that Kool-Aid. You don't measure the sugar, you pour and taste as you go. I'm black. We don't have cups. We just keep pouring and then we say, okay, let me stop for a minute and test it. I don't know how to make white people Kool-Aid. I don't know how to take 1 cup of sugar and don't taste it and then say that's enough. That's them clear people Kool-Aid. My white friends tasted my Kool-Aid once back in the day. I had a gathering and they said, oh, this is really good. They said, oh, this is really sweet. I'm gonna need to put a little water in it. I was like, and I had a dinner at my house one time. This was I was living in Arkansas. So I made collard greens, what else I make? Roast, barbecue chicken, candy yams, cornbread. I mean, I went full south on them. Madison was about, and spaghetti. I made some spaghetti too. That's so funny. Yeah, sis, you know we got cups. We don't measure, we just pour until our eyes are pleased. But I cooked. So Madison was like, you cooking, mama? Madison at that time was like 10 and 11. She was young. So I said, let me make some Kool-Aid. So I made the Kool-Aid, and my friend, who's Caucasian, said, I'll make Kool-Aid. And I knew that. I said, this ain't gonna work. I said, let me make this Kool-Aid. So I made the Kool-Aid. And when I tell you, they was putting water in it. And my black friends wasn't. They was like, sis, you didn't put enough sugar in it. Did I wash the greens? I washed the greens in the sink. I'm actually thinking about cooking tomorrow. I got some chicken in there. I was gonna make some chicken, make some candy yams. Somebody asked me, did I wash the greens in the tub? No, I do not. I wash my greens in the sink. That is too funny. I'm thinking about cooking. I'm gonna make some baked chicken probably, and some greens and some candy yams probably tomorrow, just to cook. I gotta step up my cornbread game because I don't cook cornbread anymore. Really, I done forgot. Don't judge me. So I've been kind of playing it off the top of my head. I might be calling some of y'all. Say, hey, give me a good recipe. Because I promise you I have not been good. What? Thank you. You said you listened from Virginia. I kind of sort of miss Virginia. I lived in an area in Virginia called Woodbridge. I lived in Woodbridge for about 2 years. Y'all remember that time? I miss it. I do miss it sometimes. I ain't cooking nothing today. Somebody said prepare your food ahead of Sabbath. I'm not cooking until tomorrow. We eating what we got here. I went up the street, got me some jerk chicken, and that was it. I ain't finna cook nothing. Oh no, I'm not doing that. I actually bought some pancake mix, and Ruhama was on the phone with me. I'm full of talking to her, and I said, "Yes, I bought something." Some saints be like, "You're not supposed to purchase anything on the Sabbath. Y'all stop it. Y'all know me." So I said, because I look at Sabbath as rest. So I was resting. So part of my resting, I said, I'm gonna cook breakfast. I'm just talking to Ruhama on the phone. I'm getting ready to make pancakes. I got some beef sausage. I got my maple syrup because I only use maple syrup. I do not like table syrup on my pancakes. So I'm a little bougie, y'all. Don't judge me. So I'm getting ready to cook. Then next door to it was a spot that anybody who I ain't gonna give the name of the establishment, but if you live in Brooklyn and there's a place that serves jerk chicken oxtails and the sign is yellow and green, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So I went in the place with the yellow and green sign to give me some jerk chicken and sat down and started talking to Ruhama and looked up, and this pancake seasoning is still sitting on my table, unopened, just sitting there. Because I promise you, I don't feel like cooking. So I'm a bum today. I'm a bum. Yes, I am. So, hey y'all. So I have been watching. I was talking to, like I said, Ruhama this morning. I actually called Angie. Angie didn't answer her phone. You see how folks do me, y'all. Y'all see how folks be treating me. Would y'all not answer? I'm just messing with y'all. Angie had something she was doing. Um, but as I'm talking to Ruhama on the phone, I see a news report pop up that um Iran soldier died after Israel targeted strikes per Iranian news media. So somebody has died, but also in the news, Iran has said, Iran says, this is what Iran has said after this strike. Iran says no limits in defending itself against Israel strike. So the Israel foreign minister, Abbas Arakkacha, I hope I'm saying that right, says there is no limits when it comes to defending the country after Israel military carried out strikes on military targets in Iran in response to the attack by Israel and its proxies. Y'all know who the proxies are. Israeli forces, and I'm reading the article, y'all, in Al Jazeera. Israeli forces withdrew from the besieged Kamal Adwan Hospital in northern Gaza, leaving a trail of destruction in the last functioning military facility in the area while abducting staff and other civilians. So it's just giving little points here. It says that Hezbollah says it launched a drone attack on Israeli Army air base after Tel Aviv. And so it's been a bunch of stuff going on. So they say right now in Gaza, at least 46,000 people have been killed and 100,000 have been wounded since October 7th. So yeah, people are getting a little fed up. They finna. That's why I keep saying that we get ready to go to war. So let me share this. So let me go ahead and do my. I did not tell y'all something was finna pop off? They not finna play with these folks. Hold on. Let me read this little disclaimer. And it ain't even prophetic. I just know how ninjas like to fight. You smack me, I'm gonna smack you back mentality. And that's how they acting right now. Don't get in it, y'all. Stay out of that. So let me read this disclaimer. Copyright, yeah, they not playing, they not. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, new reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. We got that done. If you have not registered for the election night event, please do. Let me go ahead and put that. Y'all want to put that link out there real quick? Hold on. Let me change this really quick, and then Put this right here. Y'all know I got to do that because saints love to come. They coming for folk. All right, so let me do this, and then we can get started. Hold on. What are y'all's thoughts? This is about to be interesting. I still think we're going to make the election now. I honestly think we're going to make the election. All right. So let me pin this, and then once I pin it, we can get started. Can one of my mods pin it for me? Can y'all pin that link for me? I know Airspike, Ruhama, can y'all pin it? If not, I can. I'm not sure if I can. Does it give y'all the option to pin it? Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Maybe I can go ahead and pin it. 1 second, and then we can get started. All right, it's pinned. If you want to register for this event, just click the link. It'll take you there, and you register for the watch party. All right. Somebody said something about my pay grade. So let me go ahead and, since I've done all that, I'm going to play this video. Shalom. Hey, Asif, how are you? All right, here we go.
In the US, the Pentagon said Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin spoke with Israeli Defense Minister Yoav Gallant to receive updates on Israel's strikes on military targets in Iran. Austin reaffirmed the ironclad.
All right, fair use. This video is being played for educational and research purposes only. Fair use. Now I'm going to start it over.
Lloyd Austin spoke with Israeli defense. In the US, the Pentagon said Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin spoke with Israeli Defense Minister Yoav Gallant to receive updates on Israel's strikes on military targets in Iran. Austin reaffirmed the ironclad commitment of the US to Israel's security and right to self-defense. He emphasized the enhanced force posture of the US to defend US personnel, Israel, and partners across the region in the face of threats from Iran and Iran-backed terrorist organizations, and the US determination to prevent any actor from exploiting tensions or expanding the conflict in the region. Al Jazeera's Heidi Jo Castro has more now from Washington, D.C.
The White House says President Biden and Vice President Harris closely monitored the attack as it unfolded. According to a senior administration official, the U.S. was not directly involved, but has deemed the Israeli action against Iran to be proportional and effective at degrading Iran's military capabilities and in deterring Iran from further attacks. The U.S. says this should be the end of military fire between Israel and Iran and has promised consequences against Iran if it retaliates. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin was in touch with his Israeli counterpart, Yoav Gallant, a few hours ago, emphasizing the U.S.'s, quote, ironclad support for Israel's defense, which includes the recent deployment of an anti-ballistic missile system and the 100 U.S. military members to Israel. Meanwhile, on the diplomatic front, State Secretary Antony Blinken has just returned from visiting Israel and Doha, where he tried to reinvigorate ceasefire talks between Israel, Hezbollah, and Hamas. The U.S. official says the contours of those agreements to put down arms are in place, and those agreements should happen without delay. Heidi Jo Castro, Al Jazeera, Washington.
Even though I think that it's a play on words for the U.S. to want to have peace talks, I really believe they play on both sides of the fence. They saying they want peace talks, but it's a proxy war right now. It's definitely, I think it's a proxy war. That's all I gotta say is it isn't about that. It's about controlling resources, I think. So so with that being said, y'all, this is gonna be interesting. Now I will say this much, and I see people saying this, that the election possibly could be interrupted. I'm not shocked if it does, but I'm still gonna have my events. So we'll be watching something else on the news because one thing I will say is we see that it's playing across and playing on the world stage. So with that being said, one thing Iran is not finna have is one of their people ended up becoming a casualty due to the strikes. So I'm gonna play this report from Live Now, Live Now from Fox News. I can't get my words out now. So I'm gonna say this again. These videos are being played. Fair use, fair use. These videos are being played. This video is being played for educational and research purposes only. All right.
Here, so I do want to bring in Dr. Asaf Romorowski, the Executive Director of Scholars for Peace in the Middle East, to discuss all of it. Thank you so much, as always, for taking the time to be here with us today.
Good morning. Thank you, as always, for having me.
All right, so first off, I do want to talk to you, of course, about the situation there that we saw unfold in Iran. What do we know overall about the outcome of that retaliatory strike by Israel? Do we know just yet really the extent of any sort of damage?
That's still evolving. It's still a fluid situation. What we do know for a fact is that Israel was able to take out key Air Force military defense facilities. We know that these facilities were obviously disclosed to the United States, CENTCOM. This was a coordinated effort. I mean, as far as how the targets were chosen. We also know that the Air Force pilots, the Israeli ones, had to be a long time in the air as far as the refueling aspect. But as far as we know, as far as today, again, it's still going to be, as daylight, as things evolve, we'll see the extent of all of that. The reaction on Iranian social media was business as usual. I mean, as we've seen in the past, as far as pattern of behavior, as we saw back in April, they do not want to give any kind of impression as if they were really devastated. Interestingly enough, while the attacks were happening and taking place, it wasn't affecting, and this was clear during the actual attack itself, no energy sources were hurt in the process. That means Iran was able to function ongoing in a way they always have. But militarily wise, I think this was it was really the strike here and the psychological aspect that plays out here. The fact that this was a devastating, really targeted surgical attack when it came to military facilities to show that they can make that happen. Obviously, there were a variety of potential solid targets, not to mention the fact Ifshan, which has to do with the facility for for chemical weapons, as well as other kind of militaries, manufacturings. And so these are all part of the elements that were part of the potential targets. The extent is not known yet, and we'll see that in the coming days. And obviously, the question is going to be going forward, how all this is going to play out as a result of another potential Iranian counterattack as well. I mean, that
key to this is Iran is going to clap back. They're not going to just sit and just say, okay, we're done fighting now. Clapback is coming. It's coming, and it's going to come quickly. It wouldn't shock me none if we make it throughout the day without seeing anything. But Iran might pull back for a minute, figure out what their targets are. But I think they already have identified where they finna hit. They were just waiting for the Israeli government to proceed with their attacks. So Iran is not just sitting and just saying, we're going to rethink this. I think they already know what they're going to do. It's a matter of when, what time, and how major this is going to be. I think it's going to escalate to something that I'm not saying, Char, that I don't think that it's not going to be something that is going to stop the election. I think the U.S. is trying to manage this the best way they can, but I believe that it's going to kind of shake up the election. Is it going to stop the U.S. election? I don't know. This is the time in life where you have to say, I don't know. I ain't out here trying to make no prophetic calls and say, oh, the election is going to stop because of, I don't know. I just know right now my spirit is telling me, Most High is telling me to be watchful in what's going on, be very aware, be very, very diligent in paying attention to what's going on. Even though you don't trust Fox News, in fact, you don't trust MSNBC or CNN, still watch and then go do your research based off of the information that's provided to you because it's out there. So just be right now. My spirit is screaming, be diligent in what's going on and being aware. So I think right now this is going to escalate. This is not going to de-escalate. This is I think it is going to escalate because I think Russia has already said that they are supportive of Iran. So I'm looking at Aerospike's comment. Yeah, I think this is going Timothy says, Mercedes says hi. Tell the Mercedes I said hi. Tim got a new car, y'all. Praise the Most High. But it's gonna escalate quickly. Isn't it Sabbath? Wise? I don't know. And it's a holy day. It is a holy day. We'll finish listening.
This is how this game has been playing out, unfortunately, and of course how the Iranian proxies that we're seeing now are going to react as well.
Is there another option as far as what Iran does next, or do they have to retaliate to continue to look tough?
They don't have to. As you can see, it takes time every time that they make these decisions. And I think that the other part of the window of opportunity here, or again, the window of action, to say the least, was, of course, we are about 10 days before the elections here in the States. I think that there is, if the Harris if there is a Harris administration, there'll be less of an appetite for more military operations, as you can see from the comments coming out of her campaign all around. So I think that the Israelis felt that the window of an opportunity now was particularly timely as far as getting this done before the elections, knowing things are going to change. That being said, to my mind, at least, again, this is from my vantage point, the nuclear facilities should be on the target list. And I hope that the Israelis did not miss an opportunity here as far as devastating the nuclear program all along. But it's unclear yet. And Iran could, to your point, use its proxies. They're still using Hezbollah, the Houthis, still using the Shiites, in Iraq. This is all part of this larger hydra of capabilities that the Iranians have, and it could range from direct attacks to using proxies, as we see it, as the Iranians have been operating all along. But the bottom line is, this is Israel's war and has been for the past year with Iran. It is the Israeli-Iranian war. And let's keep that in mind, because everything that you're seeing happening on the ground in Israel is funded and it is orchestrated by the Islamic Republic of Iran.
Can you break down a little bit more for folks watching who have heard Hamas, Hezbollah, Houthis, and they don't necessarily realize the connection to Iran? Can you kind of break that down for folks who are watching?
Sure. So let's be clear here. So Israel has been fighting a war on 7 fronts. And what's interesting in the main, obviously the patrons of what took place on 10/7. So you had, Hamas and Hezbollah. Unique to that aspect, of course, worthy of note is that Hamas is Sunni, Hezbollah is Shia. But of course, even though the Sunni-Shia divide is the greatest divide and the greatest cleavage in the Muslim world,
I get what you're saying, Char. But I'm gonna stop right there. I want people to provide me the insight in the comment section. This is technically a proxy war. And it has to do with resources. They don't want to tell you that. But what y'all think? I had to stop right there for a second. Yep, they'll never tell you it's a proxy war on resources. I came with Ruhamar. Yep. Yep, it is a proxy war. It is. I'm gonna finish playing.
The two have been able to operate together in what they consider to be a larger and a greater evil. That is the Zionist entity, according to their definition, i.e., the state of Israel, and of course, its allies, meaning the United States. The ideology is anti-American, anti-Western, and of course, anti-Semitic. Then you have the Houthis in Yemen, another Shia group that is also connected to Iran itself, as far as being supplied, being orchestrated. Early on in the war itself, we saw meetings between Hassan Nasrallah, who obviously was taken out by the Israelis, and leaders of Hamas in Lebanon, planning all of this. And of course, some of the leadership also has been receiving safe harbor in Qatar, in Doha. Then, of course, you have the militia groups in Syria, in Iraq, and in Syria, who again, allies of the regime, funded by all this kind of tentacles of finances and armaments and training in those areas itself. And then, of course, you have the activation. The other front of this war itself is what's been happening in the area of Judea and Samaria, i.e. the West Bank, who are also part of the traditional kind of terroristic attacks that we've been seeing coming out of Palestinian aspects, that are other groups that are not all Hamas members, but are also Hamas affiliates, together within those areas as well. All of that is part of this amalgamation of these groups that have been fighting all along and been fighting Israel. Iran has been sending money to all of these groups. Iran has been sending training to all of these groups. We have now, there's documents on the beginning of the war as far as documentation, as far as that kind of toolkits of how to do business. This is all has Iranian footprint, that has Iranian blood in all of this. And Iran is directing all of this because of the larger ideology and the hatred towards Israel and the United States, which is where we,
why is there hatred though? Why is there hatred? They played the part of saying, oh, they hate us. Why though? What have y'all done? What have y'all done to these people to make these people hate y'all so much? You have to trigger those people to make them hate you. Israel and U.S. can play the victim so well. And the Academy Award goes to the United States and Israel. Y'all have done so much dirty. Y'all sit saying, why they hate us? Everybody in the room is looking like that. Look like you don't get it. Why? Yeah. But that's what happens when you play the victim. When you've been victimizing the hell out of people. Excuse my language. They have been victimizing people. I'm talking about for centuries. And now all of a sudden they playing the victim. Burn that victim card up. Quit it.
As you and I have been discussing for the past few months, the ideology and the connectivity between the enemies of Israel and the enemies of the United States, they are one and the same. And so this is also part of the understanding of the threats at large here. Hezbollah, one of the largest and richest terrorist organizations, has more American blood on hands up until 9/11. Just recently, we on the 23rd, we celebrated and we marked 41 years of the anniversary of the attack on the Marine barracks in Beirut, where we had 241 Marines who were killed. There were also, Frenchmen and German who were also killed in an attack. Justice was served by the Israelis when they took out the top brass of Hezbollah. And so that's where all of this is coming from. And that's what Iran is doing. And this is really the straddling between the conventional and non-conventional weaponry. Iran is perceived in the region at large. Let us also be clear about that when it comes to the Sunni Arab states and to the state of Israel as the greatest destabilizing force in the region. And that is the threat at large. And that's the concern that many of the countries who've been supporting Israel in this latest.
Their biggest fear is Obadiah coming to pass. The prophecy given from Obadiah. That's their biggest fear. When you really read Obadiah, when I read Obadiah with these new eyes that I got, Obadiah tells him, y'all finna fall. Y'all finna fall. So what we gonna do, don't think they ain't read the Bible. I wasted some of y'all, I'm wiping some out. Don't think that they don't read the Bible. Obadiah is their biggest nightmare. Obadiah's prophecy was given to them, and they scared. That's their biggest fear. Obadiah talks about how they're going to fall, how they're going to be destroyed, how they're going to lose their power. That's their biggest fear. That's their biggest fear.
This war, including Arab countries, are
I do want to pop up this post here coming in from the Israel War Room. Again, a lot of this information developing here, but they do say that 2 soldiers were killed during Israel's overnight strikes on the IRGC military targets. And one of them is seen in that photo there, Hamzeh Jahandideh, who served in the air defense units. Again, that is the only information that was released there from the report from Iran and, of course, posted by the Israel War Room. When you do have folks who are with Iran who have been killed as a result of this strike, does that change anything about Iran's retaliatory possibilities there against Israel? Because I know a bit earlier on this week, they did say that they would not respond to Israel's attack unless there were significant damages or deaths.
Well, to my mind, I think that the Iranians, they have lives to spare in all of this, similar to all these organizations. Iranian Guard personnel, as well as commanders and leaders, have been taken out together with Hezbollah commanders in Syria, in Lebanon. This has been ongoing tactic. There have been Iranian Guard high-level leaders. I mean, again, that speaks once again to the collaboration between Iran and the other groups, as far as the fact that having the Iranian Guard personnel directing and connecting and coordinating in the areas where the fight is taking place on the ground. I think that the facilities were symbolic by design, to show that Israel can and will strike as it did. The question is it going to deter the Iranians from continuing what they are doing, as far as continuing to move ahead as far as the nuclear program? I seriously doubt that. I think that you're going to
Ding, 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 ding. They don't want to move ahead with their nuclear program. That's their biggest fear. If Iran gets a hold to a strong nuclear program, they can be a superpower within themselves and fight against them, which we already know is already in flight. Already in flight. Oh, y'all, I feel like I'm going to take a nap today. I may take me a Sabbath nap after this. I might. I don't know. The bed is calling me. Ooh, wee. But yep.
See some kind of tempered response here. Like I said, they're watching us very carefully. They're watching how the U.S. is helping Israel, its ally. They're going to be watching, what happens on the election. They're going to watch all of this very, very closely, and based on what they perceive is going to happen, or understand who's going to be in the White House in January, they're going to measure their responses accordingly. And so that's what you're seeing playing out here. This is and has been a very serious game of chess in the Middle East. And every time you move these pieces around the board, there are going to be consequences. And that's what you're seeing play out here. Again, as we know more and as it becomes clearer what damage has been to Iran and these facilities and the kind of facilities and what was there, then you will see a response based on the extent of the damage. And again, as I said earlier, Iran all along and throughout tonight on social media and conventional media has been trying to minimize the damage to show that they are still very strong, that this, Israel cannot hurt them. And so that's the imagery that they want to portray to their citizens and to their allies all around. So that's another thing to look at as far as what they're saying exactly and how they're responding.
On that note, I did want to ask you, so for them to put out this information and say that 2 soldiers at least, we're just talking about what is known so far, were killed in the strike, is that surprising, as they are trying to essentially downplay what's happened?
I think they're trying to humanize, quote unquote, the situation, to show, here are the faces of the targets, in the same way that, that when Israel has been taking out targets, we too have generals who are fighting and they're doing defense, and, and to basically try to flip the narrative around. That is to show Iran as the victim of Israeli aggression supported by the United States. This is a part of the psychological warfare that plays into this conversation. And so I'm not surprised by that. Again, I think that, the fact that they're only showing, again, 1 or 2 pictures and not mass, destruction is also quite telling about how this was done in a calculated and a very surgical way which speaks volumes about the Israelis' capability to do this in the way they conduct and operate themselves with actionable and solid intel. And that they are doing this, and they have done this all along in order to make sure that the point sinks in, but yet again gives them enough time and enough ability to say that they're targeting the actual military targets.
Thank you. It's very telling. Everything he's saying. Just know war is here. It ain't even coming. They're trying to find the best way to say it without people panicking. War is already happening. We are at the beginning of World War III. They are in the beginning of World War III. World War III has already started, y'all. I hate to say it. I hate to break the bad news to some of the people out here who don't realize World War III has already started. This is just the beginning of it, the beginning phases. Where it gets bad is in the middle of it and the thick of it. They are in the middle. Let me emphasize, they are in the middle of World War III. We are in the middle of Sabbath. That's what we are. We're going to take a good Sabbath nap in just a second. Ooh, because I feel it coming on me. I feel a 3-hour nap about to hit me. Oh, why am I so sleepy, Saints? Why am I? And you know what? Every time I talk to Sheila, I'll be like, Sheila, I slept for 4 hours. She'll be like, your body needed it. I'm like, I can't get nothing done, though, because I'm sleeping. Every Sabbath. It never fails. Saturday, I'm going to put my head on that pillow. I slept till 11 o'clock today. Got up with all the intentions to say, I'm going to do it live and do this. And baby, that sleep is standing there looking at me like, you finna lay down in 2.5 seconds. So I'm finna wrap this up, Saints, because this is what I wanted you to see, what they're really saying behind the scenes. The fear, all that sugar and that Kool-Aid. No, it's not. But I feel like a toddler ready to cry because I'm sleeping. But this is what they're saying. But we haven't seen the big hit yet. I'm waiting for the big hit finna happen. The big hit to devastate the whole world is on its way. It's on its way. Oh, it's on its way. Oh my gosh. They mess with me because I love a nap. Who else is sleeping? Folks are telling us to rest. That's what's going on. He telling me, go ahead and wrap that up and go and take a nap. I'm gonna hit that sleep, that snooze button. Waves. Rome, what you mean by waves? I don't know what you mean. Waves of sleepiness? Yes, that's what that is. But yeah, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. I believe a big one. The big one hasn't hit yet. The big one hasn't hit. The big one, when the big one hits, the whole world is gonna be in awe. And I'm wondering if it's gonna be pre-election, day of the election, or day after the election. Oh, hey, Rome. I'm gonna wrap up, Saints, in a second. So let's go ahead and wrap this up. I want y'all to see that. So
and not hurting the civilian population. This is another again, a positive element, which we've seen all along, as far as Israel able to distinguish between combatants and non-combatants, which is what they've done during the urban warfare. They are fighting and are been fighting in Lebanon and in Gaza.
All right, Dr. Asaf Romarowski, as always, we appreciate you taking the time to be here with us. Anything else you want to add, really, about any of this? We've covered, no question, a lot of topics here, but anything you want to add before I let you go?
No, I think everything at this point is obviously is fast and moving fast, and things are going to evolve in the next few hours, and then there'll be obviously more to discuss and unpack.
And do you think we'll get more information today, or do you think we're going to be waiting a while?
I think we are. I mean, like I said, I think that this window of an opportunity as a result of our upcoming elections, I think that there's a desire in the White House to try to close this up quickly as possible, because of the upcoming elections. And I think that the Iranians, too, are going to try to wait and see how this plays out. The Iranians are well known for their patience, and I think that time will tell, but I think we're going to see more evidence today as to the extent of the damage and more revelations about what the Israelis did during the operation. But like I said, this game of chess that's playing in the Middle East, there will be a waiting time again before the next move is made.
Do you want to?
Did y'all see that? That just popped up on my screen. It says Iran is ready for war. It was a news report. Let me see. I'm going to play this really quick and then I'm going to take a nap.
And let me introduce you to Code. And you are taking a live look right now over Beirut in Lebanon. Obviously, a lot to discuss here. So I do want to head out live over to Israel and bring in Matt Finn with Fox News. He's been joining us quite a bit over the past several days. And Matt, again, a lot of different topics to discuss. So overall, what is the latest out there?
Well, the latest right now is Israel says it intercepted a missile within the past couple of minutes fired by Hezbollah here into Israel. And this morning, there was a series of rockets that Hezbollah fired from Lebanon here into Israel. The IDF also says that it lost 10 soldiers killed in battle in the past 24 hours.
Oh, am I going to be on tomorrow?
Yeah,
I'll be
in
on
Gaza,
tomorrow.
in the city of Khan Yunis, there's graphic video out there that shows the aftermath of an Israeli strike. 38 people reported dead since yesterday, including women and children in Gaza. Refugees say food is very scarce, and they're pleading to democracies around the world for help. And turning towards peace talks, the U.S. Secretary of State is continuing his 5-day trip here overseas with a meeting today in London with the Lebanese Prime Minister. It's part of a larger global scale, an attempt to prevent war between Iran, Israel, and even Lebanon. And the New York Times this morning is reporting that if Israel does retaliate, as you guys were just talking about, against Iran for its missile strike here earlier this month, then Iran says it's ready to respond. The scale apparently will depend on the Israeli strike. And also want to highlight here on the ground the perils for journalists. An Israeli airstrike killed 3 journalists as they reportedly slept at a guest house in southeastern Lebanon early this morning. Apparently, they did have press vehicles outside of the facility, the residence, and it is being reported that Israel did not give those journalists a heads up. Josh.
Matt, do we know much else about the situation there with the retaliatory attack by Israel on Iran? Because we heard that New York Times report that.
So what they're saying is if Israel attacks, Iran says they are going to retaliate. This was prior to the recent attack. So they already told them, if you attack, we're attacking back. So guess what? They've attacked. So now Iran had already told y'all beforehand, if you do it, we're going to follow up. And guess what? They did it. So it's a matter of time it's not if, it's when now. When are they, and what are they going to do? When and what are they going to do? Because they said, if you do it, we're going to attack. And they've done it. And I don't think Iran is going to back down. That was a promise that they made. So this is going to be interesting to see how this plays out.
Says Iran is ready for war. They don't want it to happen, but they are ready for it.
Well, it's been speculated for months and months now that there may be this larger scale war that, our U.S. Secretary of State and many other diplomats are trying intensely to avoid, as evidenced by Blinken's trip here overseas. He has met with representatives from multiple countries and multiple organizations over the past couple of days. So it really is pure speculation that something larger may happen. Last week, Israeli media was reporting that that it's only a matter of time. And then we had that leak, which apparently revealed some of the elements of Israel's preparation, but did not reveal any type of plan or location. And so it largely is speculation that there is this imminent, Israeli strike against Iran. But the New York Times is reporting that it spoke to multiple sources within Iran who say that Iran is allegedly prepared to strike back, that Iran would base its retaliation off of how intensely Israel may strike. I think it was about a week or two ago that Israel said it was only going to target military sites, that it would not attack nuclear sites. And Iran is threatening that if that were to happen, there could be a larger scale war here.
All right, Matt Finn there, reporting live from Israel. As always, thank you so much for taking the time to be here with us.
So, family, I wanted to end it on that thing. Iran made a promise. Iran says if Israel attacks, they are going to respond. Israel has attacked now. So what we're waiting on is the response. We're going to see what this response looks like. Oh, my TV came on, y'all, in my room. Hold on, let me cut it off. I have a timer on. All right, y'all. Well, I'm getting ready to go to take a nap. Hopefully, I'm going to be able to take a good nap and nothing transpires and I got to hurry up and get on live. But be diligent in your awareness of what's going on, because I'm definitely going to be that. So, y'all, thank y'all so much for your support. And I'm getting ready to go take a Sabbath nap. Everybody have a restful Sabbath. Enjoy the rest of your day. Get some rest. Those that are working, whenever you find a time, have a Sabbath of your own. If it be tomorrow, if it be Monday, keep working, because you got to work. We in Babylon right now. By Babylon, we in this world, in this economy. So some of us got to work. So those that are working, whenever you get a chance, get you some rest. So y'all, I thank y'all so much. Love y'all, and y'all have a good rest of your Sabbath. Good afternoon.